Boy, that's more than the survivors had, huh? All right, thanks, Harry. Well, up next, Austin is here to talk about the immunity deal that did him in on Survivor when we come right back. Have you ever heard you look like Ryan Seacrest? Well, last night was a real nail-biter on Survivor Exile Island. The 3 remaining Lamina tribe members tried to swing the game back in their direction, but in the end, even the promise of the hidden immunity idol was not enough to keep Austin in the game.
Austin is a slime ball.
He's a slime ball.
A slime ball.
Yeah, you're right. I can't trust him, that's for sure.
And he's going to try to work everybody. The one thing we have to make sure is that we don't reveal anything, period.
If Bruce and Danielle will come over to our side, we'll have the numbers. And to lure Danielle over, I will give her the immunity idol.
In a major twist of fate, I found out that my man Terry found the immunity idol. And now he has us some bargaining chips.
So here's the thing. Terry's got the idol, and he's willing to give it to you.
I have a lot of power. The ball's in my hand. I could actually transform this game into a whole new thing.
I got it. Time for you to go. Yeah. Later, man.
Austin, Cardi, good morning.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
It was surprising watching last night you getting the boot. Were you as surprised as most viewers were?
No, I think that was a brilliant job in the editing department. It was pretty much a foregone conclusion. Danielle and I had created, as everybody saw, a good bond on Exile Island.
And Bruce, also known as Mr. Miyagi, looked like they looked like they were going to join.
I think Bruce was always vacillating and right on the verge of coming over, but never quite did. But we knew going into the tribal council that Danielle was not going to come to our side. And obviously I knew that Terry had not given me the immunity idol. So I was not surprised when the vote went down.
How about that? When did you actually realize that your buddy Terry had that immunity idol, and shouldn't he have given it to you? I mean, did he basically kind of stab you in the back?
He definitely didn't stab me in the back at all. I didn't find out that he had the idol until an hour and a half before tribal council. You know, he's had it for all of those days, and we were not aware of it.
So why didn't he give it to you? Why didn't you ask him an hour and a half, say, listen, you know what, this is not looking good for me?
Well, as you could see, we did. You know, I came to him, I said, Terry, you know, let me have the idol. And he just thought for his game, it was better to hold on to it. Do I feel betrayed? Not at all. I feel disappointed. I think strategically he could have made a better move on his own part by giving me that idol. We could have then gotten Aris eliminated, and I think that tribe would have completely fractured at that point. But that's all hindsight, and hindsight's always 20/20.
If the tables had turned, would you have given it to Terry?
I would like to believe that I would have. Strategically, I just think it was the best decision. But when all was said and done, he was the owner of the idol, and it was up to him what he wanted to do with it.
Every Friday morning, we play a secret scene that did not get played in last night's show. So I want to play this, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, sounds good. Coming over here, my original intention with the idol was to make a forgery to look like I had found the idol. I happened to have the amulet that I won the very first reward challenge in my bag. And all I did was take this scepter-ish looking bamboo rod and wrap the amulet that I had around it to make it look like a hidden immunity idol. I wanted Danielle to see, so that way she would believe that I had the hidden immunity idol. I think that my scheme is brilliant, but it's eaten me up inside, and I believe I've reached the point where I found out what I'm not willing to do for $1 million. So I'm not going through with it.
Do you regret that decision as you're sitting here this morning?
I don't so much as regret it, but the thing that you have to understand about my time out there, I pride myself on being honest, and there was a lot of vacillation going on between trying to negotiate that line of integrity and advancing myself in the game. And while you're out there, the relationships you have are so intense that you feel like anything slightly duplicitous is just going to be so magnified. And I don't think it would have been such a bad thing for me to use that. I don't think it would have been the most dishonest thing in the history of the world. But at the same time, I walked out of there without having to lie, and you know, I kept my integrity
Why
intact.
did Aris call you a slime ball?
That was rough, wasn't it?
I
slime ball.
thought so.
No, you know, Aris is a good guy. Like I said, everything is so intense out there, and I think that you know, he's a sharp guy, and I think he felt outfoxed by that maneuver that I had pulled. And I think that I think that he wanted to point out that, hey, Austin's, playing this game pretty cleverly. And the reason that I pulled the ultimate bonehead move, probably the stupidest move in the history of Survivor, announcing my plan at that tribal council, was A, I was fully convinced I was going home because Ars had told me I was going home, which I guess that's just as dishonest as, my getting off the pole. But because it was eating me up inside. I came into this game saying, listen, I'm not going to lie. I subscribe very much to the belief that lying can definitely buy you advancement in this life, in this world, but I don't think that it can buy you respect. And when all's said and done, I try to live my everyday life by that maxim, and I was going to try to live Survivor by that. And that's why I announced that plan.
Austin Carty, good for you. It sounds like you don't regret being the first juror, do you?
No, not one bit. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. Up next...